You already know the deal. We are 9 months until the death date still. Things aren't looking too good, but it could be worse. We have some hope left. If you need recaps on the first 5 episodes of the season, those will be linked in the description and at the end screen of this video. But if you're all caught up, let's jump right in. The Beast, aka Angelina, rose from the ashes, and now the two witnesses, aka Fiona and Daly, are dead, so let's prepare for the end of the world. Little bit of method acting, no? After the 90 seconds of Mick and Jared hooking up and then Vance calming Ben down while he freaks out about, everything that happened last episode, we check back in with Olive and Cal. They had to leave the house last episode because authorities were peeking around looking for Mick and Jared, and when they finally make it back, they are completely out of the loop on what just happened to their grandpa and what's happening at the detention center. So Olive takes Eden to go see Ben while Cal waits for Papa Steve, unaware that he is recovering from a stroke at Tariq's cabin with Jakayla. We see Zimmer taking away Daly's body to quote-unquote Dr. Gupta's lab, and seeing how she snitched on Vance at the end of part 1, Gupta did, we can only assume that she's acting as like the new Major, most likely going to experiment on his body with dark lightning or something. Then out of nowhere, a very intense earthquake starts shaking up the detention center so strong that it breaks open the ground below, and we see exposed magma almost leaking out. And this shows how close they are to an eruption. But it opened up right under Daly's dead body, almost like it was taking him back, and takes him along with a guard down to a pit of hot lava. Remember when Sanvi returned the piece of Noah's Ark to the lava? Daly returned, he did what he needed to do, and now he's got to go back. As the facility is falling apart, Eden makes a run for the opening to the passengers so she can be with Ben. Olive goes in to catch her, and yeah, the guards have had enough at this point and say they're done helping, so Zimmer just goes in and orders isolation protocol. Sorry for the COVID PTSD right there. All passengers are to be locked inside, no one in and no one out, and they're gonna leave them there to die. And if they even try to escape, they'd be shot down. Oh great, Olive and Eden are stuck in there now. Man, I actually might hate Zimmer more than I do Angelina. Like, Angelina is crazy, right? Zimmer just sucks. This scene with Vance absolutely killed me. Obviously, we were going to get a sentimental moment between him and Ben as they reflect on how much they've been through together, but this is the first time anyone, especially someone as important to the show as Vance, has said that there's no hope. He's done all he could do, and when this sinks in for Ben, it really feels like there's no way to get out of this. But you know Vancey boy, he's always got something. Before they have their heartbreaking goodbye, he slides Ben the key cards for the food, storage, and comatose passengers in the facility. What a G. Oh god, now we got Olive and Vance having a moment too, and she's saying she'd rather die in here so she can spend time with her dad. Man, this season is heartbreaking. But at least Olive and TJ are together again, I guess. Cutting through some of the fat, Angelina and Egan are now fully working together with a handful of escaped passengers. They are trying to convince them of Angelina's ideals, and she says that she will lead them into the new world after the Day of Judgment. And the worst part is they're actually going for it. I mean, does she not sound and look absolutely insane to you guys? I mean, I guess at this point they're practically helpless, but come on. Hey, yo, are they gonna... Not now. They add this potential threat of an ex-her neighbor next to Jared and Michaela, but it just feels kind of unnecessary right now. And back at the detention center, they can now freely walk throughout it as all the different sections finally meet up in the same room. Before they can start to come up with a plan, however, this guy finally snaps, runs back in about to shoot up the place, until out of nowhere Eden steps in and talks him out of it, kind of sounding like Zeke with his empathy powers right here, I might add. But this guy goes from mass shooter to somewhat on their side in the span of like 30 seconds, so props to Eden, man. She kind of just saved all of their lives. Alright, now for the highlight of this episode. So after Vance left the detention center, he went over to Cal to tell him that his dad and 2 sisters are locked up for good, and no one knows where his aunt is. So obviously Cal's feeling like he has no one. But this is why we love Vance. He tells him he is there for him and he's going to make sure he's safe. Vance was already becoming a top tier character for me, but the unlikely duo of him and Cal solidified it for me. As they work together to solve Cal's calling and try to find Mick, we get some of the best and funniest moments of the season, maybe of the whole show. But remember that ex-her neighbor? Yeah, I was wrong. Cal's calling was about him because he had a plan to put poison gas into the facility and just kill all the passengers. And on his way there, he sees Mick and almost kills her, but dynamic duo of the century, Cal Zuras and Vance, come in and save the day. So now Cal has Vance, Mick, and Jared by his side. Let's go. We end the episode with them meeting up and telling Cal about how no one can get the callings anymore, and this gives him the idea to try to tap into other passengers' callings like he's done before, but when he does this, he gets every single calling at once. The idea is there, but he's going to have a lot of work to do. And lastly, a classic masterpiece of a Ben Stone speech bringing all the passengers together for the last ride. God, this got me hyped, bro. I would run through a wall for these guys right now. We start episode 17 with a huge time jump, but it'll probably be our last, bringing us 8 months into the future, exactly 1 month before the death date. Let's cut the Alright, Drea is pregnant with Jared's baby, and my only opinion I have on this is this dude is just stupid, bro. First, you marry Mick's best friend when she disappeared, left her for Mick even though she had a new man so you can go start messing around with her partner, only to swoop back in after Zeke dies and Mick can finally be with you. Oh wait, you didn't want to wrap it up, huh, big guy? Jared, man, you're just lucky that you come in clutch a lot. Well, I guess that has two meanings. Drea is still a legend though. She literally bought the building right next door to the detention center and is busting down the wall to try to get them out. Taking a look inside again, and we got the essence of the show. Everyone is working together and they got their own little community in here. And I'm just so excited to see Mayor Ben. Yo, what the f is this guy's problem? But since they have jumped 8 months ahead, they go straight into the end with them almost being out of food and supplies. And I get that it works better for time, but I would have loved just one episode of seeing them build up this detention center 828 community. Over at Tariq's cabin, and the gang's got a whole new setup. Real quick, this is so random, but I'm genuinely curious as to which one you guys would pick. This might be stupid, I don't know, but I think it's weirdly perfectly even. So Team A, the outsiders, Vance, Cal, Mick, and then Jared as a reserve. Or Team B, I guess the insiders, but that doesn't sound as good, with Ben, Sanvi, Olive, and TJ as a reserve. I know Sanvi's not inside the detention center, but she's still locked up and these have to be even. Team B has the best character with Ben, and he's like Vance plus Cal, and I'm more of a Ben V guy than a Jakayla guy personally, and I think I might like TJ a little more than Jared. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Team B on this one, even though Vance is like my second favorite character now. But let me know in the comments if you'd pick Team A or Team B. I know it's random, but I don't know. Over the last 8 months, Cal's been seeing all the passengers' callings while Vance and Jared go out to solve them, and this clearly has taken a toll on Cal. Well, pretty much all of them. Cal does it again, and this calling is intense. Tree branches with purple flowers wrap around him and choke him until they pull him out of it. While he was suffocating though, he did see some windows in the calling. And this was an Autumn Cox seat, so this was her calling, and she happens to be one of the members of Angelina's cult. Over at the detention center, an earthquake tremors caused the power to go out, which seemed fine at first until you remember that there's passengers on life support up in there. They start dying left and right until they get the backup generator running, but it's only got 3 hours of power in it. Cal describes the window and blinds he saw in the calling, and Mick recognizes this as the ones at the old stone house, originally Beverly's, and they are having a little cult meeting in the living room. Yeah, they've definitely been squatting here. They're there for the calling, however, and when Jared sees a photo of Autumn with some purple flowers, they get a move and I guess just leave this cult in their house. It doesn't really matter at this point, but no, I don't know if I could let myself leave these people in my house. Alright, everything's coming together. So the building Jared and Cal go to investigate is indeed the building Drea bought that's right next to the detention center, and now that she's got some help, they make it in. See, this is what I was waiting for. Everyone's together, Ben's given a speech. The creators of the show are really paying the fans off well with this last set of episodes. And after we get some more beautiful sentimental moments, we end the episode with Cal going to Marco, who luckily survived after they got the life support machines back up and running. Marco grabs Cal's arm, which causes his scar to glow as he's sent to a calling. Hey, I haven't seen the peacock in a while, bro. Maybe like season 3, honestly. But on each end of the peacock's feathers, there's a glowing sapphire. Then as the peacock brings its feathers together, the sapphires join to become one. So earlier in episode 17, when Cal confronted Angelina again, she referred to themselves as God's two sapphires, and the only way for survival is if they work together. Now I'm just spitballing here, and this is just what I'm thinking it could be. So for every good thing, there's gotta be something equally as bad, yin and yang, you know? So if a sapphire had enough power for them to stop the end of the world, there would have to be an equal power that could make the end of the world start. If Angelina and Cal are both religious powers right now, Cal would be acting as God and she would be the devil, right? There's just no way I could believe that they are meant to be working together. She's literally Charles Manson in the flesh right now. But yeah, most importantly, episode 17, we took a big time jump right into the action, and I actually think it works out perfectly because I just need one more episode of everyone together in the detention center. They have 1 month to prepare for the death date, and I think it's safe to say they can't stop it anymore, but now Cal is inside and can face-to-face solve everyone's callings. There's still some questions in the air like, where is Sanvi? We need her right now. What's gonna happen with Jared and Mick now that Drea is pregnant? Egan is actually the worst person in this show, honestly. Him, Zimmer, and Angelina are just fighting for who's worse. But we seem all set up for the end. Again, sorry for the delay, but work has been a lot this past week. It just happened to be bad timing with Manifest, but we are here, ready for the end. And honestly, part of me feels like I'm prolonging the ending because I don't want this to end yet. Not any real huge developments besides the gangs back together and just Cal overall now understanding how to use his powers more, but episode 17 might be my favorite episode of the season so far. And I know you guys have seen the whole season already, but still, let's talk about some theories in the comments below about the ending. I have seen it already. I know it sounds bad, but I wrote all of these videos at the beginning of the month so I wouldn't spoil any of the reviews, but I mean, I couldn't help myself. I had to watch it all in like 2 days. But yeah, when you hear me reviewing or recapping, that's me talking from like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But yeah, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and turn on that notification button for the next 3 to 4 Manifest videos. You know we'll have a couple extra after we finish. And yeah, I'll see you guys real soon for episode 18 and 19.